LEGO DC Superheroes is one of their most popular licensed themes. Well, you'd think that, but LEGO doesn't really seem to pay that much attention to DC Superheroes these days. You'd think it's the ugly stepchild of LEGO's licensed themes now. The 2020s have been a rough decade thus far for this theme. It's pretty much just turned into a LEGO Batman theme, and we don't even get that many Batman sets, let alone for other characters. However, the theme has been going strong, with very heavy air quotes, since 2012, making it one of the longer running LEGO themes currently on the market. And there's clearly a cult following for LEGO DC Superheroes, so much so that you guys voted for it to be the next entry in my worst price LEGO sets series. So, without further ado, I deliver to you the top 10 worst price LEGO DC Superheroes sets of all time. Now, how will I be measuring price in today's video, you may ask? Great question. I am using price per piece. I know a lot of people prefer price per gram. I know some people prefer their own personal eye test, and that's all very valid, but I think price per piece is the most universal measurement for LEGO prices out there, and that's why I'm going with it. However, I also acknowledge that price per piece is a very black and white way to look at things, so I've established a few ground rules to add some nuance to the situation. Those rules are as follows. Number 1, no set under $25 will be considered. I just feel like a set that cheap isn't really worth getting up in arms about over the price. It's just a negligible amount of money, and I don't think it's really worth the effort. Number 2, no 4+ sets. I don't think my audience is comprised of people that really collect 4+ sets to begin with, and also their prices are harder to gauge because the pieces are bigger, everything is printed, and it's obviously just made for toddlers. Number 3, any DC licensed set is eligible for today's video. This is not limited to only DC Superheroes. The original Batman sets from the 2000s, the DC Superheroes Girls theme, and the LEGO Batman movie are also going to be considered for today's list. And finally, number 4, I am not adjusting for inflation. This has been very controversial with my other list videos, and I understand the argument for inflation, but it overcomplicates things so much that I'm ultimately just going to go with the original retail price. With those specifications out of the way, let's dive into the countdown. Number 10 is set number 41231, Harley Quinn to the rescue. Before I comment on this set in particular, I wanted to point out that numbers 8, number 9, and number 10 in today's video all have the exact same price per piece of 13.8. And the tiebreaker that I ended up going with was I put the more expensive set in the higher spot. So this one is the least expensive, which is why it's only at number 10. And this set was barely eligible for the list at $30 US with 217 pieces back in 2017. And unfortunately, the DC Superhero Girls line this set hails from was a catastrophic failure for LEGO, and the show was a massive bomb as well. I understood their approach. They were trying to appeal to a different demographic. I think it's very cool giving girls their own DC storylines, but at the same time, it might have been slightly miscalculated and it just did not succeed whatsoever. And because of that, this set sealed you can now get for about 20 bucks. Which is crazy because it's nearly a 9-year-old set. That is some wild depreciation in value. You almost never see that with LEGO products. And $20 would have been a decent price for this set with 217 pieces, but 30 bucks, especially for the size of the build here, yeah, that was not good. So I can see why this set would not have sold well at all. Number 9, set number 76274, Batman with the Batmobile versus Harley Quinn and Mr. Freeze. This set deserves some hate for that set name alone. LEGO, is that seriously the best you could do? There's just way too much going on there. This is the Batmobile from the Batman the Animated Series that came out just last year, and I think this design is pretty fantastic. It was so smooth, the shaping was great. I was honestly blown away by this build. I also waited on purchasing this build until it was on at least a 20% off sale, because 60 bucks for just a little bit over 400 pieces is not very good. And the size of the design just screams like $40 set to me. And then you only get 3 minifigures. They're 3 pretty awesome figures, but 3 figures is 3 minifigures. This was a terrible, terrible value, and of course it also was 13.8 cents per piece. I'm not surprised whatsoever this set made the list. Number 8, 76183, Batcave, the Riddler Face-Off. Our final 13.8 cents per piece set comes from the Batman movie from 2022, and this is the Batcave from said film. This set had less than 600 pieces pieces and retailed for $80 US. Now, I think the size to price ratio wasn't awful. There were some larger elements included with this set, and you also got 6 minifigures, a pretty robust lineup. Although I always felt that this cave felt a little bit sparse, honestly it's not the best Batcave design in the Batman universe, and the LEGO translation is a little bit awkward if you ask me. And the price per piece just wasn't very good, and this was a set that came out in late 2021, so it's about 4 years old now, and I'm afraid LEGO would have charged like $90, maybe even $100 for this set if it came out today. Oh gosh, that would have been really, really rough. Number 7 is set number 41238, Lena Luthor Kryptonite Factory. Or is it Kryptomite? Is that different than Kryptonite? If somebody is really familiar with the DC Superhero Girls show, let me know because I have no idea what's going on here. I do know, however, that this $60 set included 432 pieces, resulting in a price per piece of $13.9. At least the build was sizable and had those big slide pieces to kind of lessen the blow, and the crypto piece was really adorable as well. But once again, it's hard to defend the price per piece of this set. Oddly enough though, this one is actually worth about $70 sealed, so it has appreciated in value just a little bit. I'm guessing crypto is a big reason for that. But at the same time, it wasn't a very good price per piece, and that's why it's at number 7 in today's video. Number 6, 76303, Batman Tumbler versus Two-Face and the Joker. Just call the set the Tumbler. We all know what's going on here. I don't understand why LEGO feels the need to add Batman, Two-Face, and the Joker to the names of these sets, similar to the Batman with the Batmobile versus Harley Quinn and Mr. Freeze set. Like, just call it the Batmobile, y'all. It's not that hard. This is the most recent set in this video. It's a 2025 set, and I am not surprised in the slightest. Honestly, I kind of thought this one might be higher. It's only 14 cents per piece, and again, I'm a little bit surprised. I kind of thought it would be higher. Hardly over 400 pieces for $60 is really, really bad, and the damning thing about this one is the comparisons to the last version of the Tumbler that came out in 2021. That version was a lot bigger in design, and it cost $20 less. But this one comes with an extra minifig, so that clearly makes up the $20 difference in price, huh? I want this set primarily for that Two-Face and that Joker minifigure, but I still have not bought it. I'm waiting for like a 30% clearance at minimum because of how bad the price is here. Even the $48 Amazon is currently charging for it feels like too much. Number 5, 76026, Gorilla Grodd Goes Bananas. I reviewed this set a couple of months ago. I was really happy to get my hands on it. It is one of the most ridiculous LEGO sets of all time. You could probably call it bananas. And honestly, the price of this one makes a little bit more sense because there are some larger elements. You get a lot of minifigures, including a Gorilla Grodd Big Fig who is exclusive to this set 10 years after the fact. So I understand why this one would have a price per piece of $14.4. It's actually, in my opinion, probably the best value of any set in today's video, but because of my metrics, it ended up at number 5 on the list. And if you want to see a full in-depth breakdown of this set, go check out my review from earlier this summer. Number 4, 76182, Batman Cowl. The crazy thing is this is not the worst priced Batman Cowl set from 2021. Just wait and see, it gets much worse somehow. But this one has a price per piece of $14.6. And keep in mind, these helmet style sets retailed for $60 in 2021. This probably would have been $70 in 2025, and even worse in terms of price per piece. I also think this set just looks like crap. I really think they dropped the ball with the Batman Cowl here. LEGO, remake this, frankly. I think you could do much, much better. I would like to have a cool Batman Cowl in my collection, but this ain't it. Number 3, 70907, Killer Croc Tail Gator. This is the one set from the LEGO Batman movie that made the list today because it has a price per piece of $15.2, and similar to the Gorilla Grodd Goes Bananas set, it's understandable why the price per piece would be bad because it has a Big Fig, and that Killer Croc Big Fig is awesome. I love how they incorporated the classic LEGO alligator crocodile piece as his head. That was super clever if you ask me. And the build wasn't a half bad size, but was it $70 big? No, it wasn't. It probably should have been like $55, maybe $60, and if you adjust for inflation, this one looks even worse in terms of price. price, but for 2017, it was 15.2 cents per piece. But brownie points for that Killer Croc figure. If I ever do a Big Fig ranking video, that one will definitely be in the top 10. It is so cool, man. Our penultimate set, number 2, is 76238 Classic TV Series Batman Cowl. I told y'all there was another Batman Cowl set from 2021 that was a worse price than the other one, because this Classic TV Series Batman Cowl was 16.1 cents per piece. Goodness gracious, Lego. How did you think this was a fair price? And also, I just don't think it looks all that good. I just would love to see remakes of these, because they could do better. I know they can. It's an ugly design. It was a really bad value. And if this set came out for 70 bucks in 2025, I don't think a single soul would have bought it. But this is not the worst price per piece of any Lego DC set. There's one set that frankly I think will shock you guys in terms of how bad its price per piece is. And that set is number 1, 76112 app-controlled Batmobile. This set retailed for $100 back when it came out in August of 2018. And guess the piece count if you don't know it already. I'm gonna blank it out on the screen. It included 321 pieces for $100, which gave it the price per piece of 31.1. This is the 4th installment in this worst price sets series, and this is by far the worst price per piece set I've ever seen, even worse than a lot of the Jurassic Park sets. Now, to be fair, this set did have an electronic element. That's obviously why it cost so much. It came with this Bluetooth motor to make the Batmobile run. So it was never going to be a well-priced set in terms of price per piece. But still, 331 pieces for $100? Even if you think those motors are worth like, I don't know, 40 bucks total, it's still not gonna be a well-priced set. That is just one of the craziest price per pieces I've ever seen in my entire life. Luckily, if you want this for some reason, it has not really appreciated in value at all. You can get it for about 100 bucks sealed these days. And it does come with an exclusive Batman minifigure that looks pretty cool, but I actually think the Batmobile design itself looks really ugly. It's one of the worst ones Lego's ever done. And that Batman figure is the only figure in this set. It's a $100 set with 321 pieces and 1 minifigure. If they included like, 7 figures or something, it might have felt a little bit more worth it, but Lego just skimped out on this set, y'all. Which is why, easily, with a 15-point lead, I can't believe that. The app-controlled Batmobile, set number 76112 from 2018, is the worst priced LEGO DC superhero set of all time. And there you have it, y'all. That's the list. What do you think is the worst value from this theme? Let me know in the comments down below. Thank you all so much for tuning into today's video. Have a fantastic rest of your day. Peace out. God bless. Bye-bye.